did not know what to expect. When I look back 4 years ago, the level was totally different. And now I had campaigns that I thought, shit, I should have followed it myself. This is really good.
But I get a sense just from my industry peers, from my staff, from our clients that the bookmarks are something that people are really considering as being pivotal.
About 5 years ago, the bookmarks took a very brave stand, and it stood for creative performance.
Because we wanted to create awards that recognized more than creative and concept and started focusing more on results and what actually achieved the campaign success.
I think overall this year there's been an incredible amount of time spent in looking at actual business returns from the entries.
I think that it's good that you do not only look at the creative part but also look how it worked.
I've always believed that there's great digital work going on, in the companies and not just in the agencies and publishers, and it's that the bookmarks is about recognizing digital work.
We've taken a long time to build up the credibility of the competition, and it's really around making sure that not only the larger agencies, but even more so the smaller agencies, actually have fair opportunity. As our industry specializes even more and more, we find ourselves having to match that and to make sure that we have the right judges, the right speciality, judging the right categories.
We're doing round 2 of judging, which happens on site, and everybody's here at the Radisson in Cape Town, which is wonderful to have them and for them to give us their time for the weekend, which is amazing.
So each entry goes through 2 rounds of being scrutinized as an entry on its own. In the second round, they're afforded the opportunity to discuss the entry and to discuss the categories, but they would still vote separately.
And I thought, well, it's just going to be a box-ticking process when we get in the room because we've all put so much time in. But actually what happened when we came in the room and discussed entrants, I think we all felt, we've discussed it amongst ourselves, we all felt that we learned something about the submissions, but also we learned something about the industry that we didn't know.
What was wonderful for me was we were judging the judging as well as judging the entries, and I think that was very valuable.
We spent time understanding the thinking behind the entries, understanding the process that each specific agency went through, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a learning experience for me personally.
I felt I learned about South African media, I felt I learned about digital media, and I saw some of the submissions in a different light as a result of the judging process. So I don't know how thorough these things are supposed to be. I don't know if there's a law on that thing, but this is South Africa. There aren't really laws, there are guidelines. And I think it was an incredibly thorough process. That's the way it feels as a judge.
But in terms of the actual judging process, it was very professional, and it was enjoyable and it was stimulating. And a lot of the work we did before we came into the room. So it was helpful that we had exposure to the entries in our own time, because I have judged other things like Agency of the Year, where you arrive and you just got this mountain of stuff and you're supposed to wade through it. And given the importance of being a client of the year or an agency of the year, you absolutely have to do these things justice and spend time and really think about it. So if you don't have the advanced notice, it's much harder to do that. So I think that's one of the good things about bookmarks, one of the many good things about bookmarks.
And if one looks at the categories and the amount of entries, you can quite a fair cross-section understanding what's going on in our industry.
From a broader perspective, the bookmarks just says so much about where we are right now in the industry and where we're going to be tomorrow.
One of the comments all around is we were looking for, almost the pioneering spirit, and it wasn't like just what was your billing or what was the quality of your creative or how innovative were you. It's what have you done to take things forward. And I think that's a fascinating thing. I'm not sure that other media awards have that opportunity.
I think what the international judges, they really see us getting involved passionately in adjudicating. And this is not something they've seen in the competitions that they've attended around the world, that kind of level of concern and interest. And not just for the individual entries, but where the industry is going.
The essence of digital, I think, is curiosity. And the curiosity here, you feel it. And that's what I want to bring back home and show the people there. Stay curious, because curiosity, in the end, it's what it's about. Thinking of not only ideas, not only about creativity, but also about new ways of getting things done.
I don't feel that anything going on here in South Africa is fall short of international standards at all. I think in many ways it's the other way round. I think there's an awful lot to be learned from what's going on in the South African market.
The beauty of the bookmarks is that we hold ourselves up against international standards. and that's really important because you're starting to see people really kind of coming to the fore and making it work.
There's an emphasis on originality of content in terms of things that we've never seen before, an emphasis on getting new writers, new voices, focusing on different areas, focusing on niches. So I think that definitely in terms of the spread of content, that's broadened.
Over the years that I've been involved in the DMMA, there's been a consistent shift in the quality of entries into the bookmarks. This has been a reflection of the growing maturity, I think, of the digital media in South Africa overall.
The quality of entry this year has been phenomenal. I've just been blown away, firstly, the amount of entries, and secondly, also the quality of entries.
I judged 2 years ago, and I can definitely see a marked improvement, certainly in the integrated category.
We've got a unique set of circumstances here and technologies that are unique to us in South Africa and Africa, where I predict that very soon people are going to start to look at the innovation that we come up here and start holding themselves up against us.
I think there'll be a few pieces that come out of Bookmarks that will show in international shows in the next season.
I absolutely do think it's important. It's critical that we can show the businesses and the clients and the brands we work for that we're actually responsible for the stuff we put out there, and that there is return for their investment.
Winning the bookmarks is a big deal. Making the shortlist is a big deal. And what we're finding as well is that clients are paying attention, brands are paying attention, because an award in the bookmarks comes with a guarantee not only of great creativity, but return on investment, and that's the clear difference in what we do.